Daniel, Whiskey 5, Echo Kilo Golf. Gonna do another video here. Icom 9700, now fully linked with SatPC32 for rig control and rotor control. I've been gone down in Central America, over a week and a half or so. Just got back. Want to do some updates since I've gotten everything configured and show y'all how I did it. But AO92 is passing, and I want to give y'all a demo of SatPC32 running with a satellite pass. It is May 15th, about 3:30 UTC in the morning. So let's let this bird pass. I'll try to make contacts, and then I'll go over the settings on how to set up your 9700 with SatPC32. I am dealing with some power line noise right now. That's all the way up in 2 meter and 440 range, so it's kind of wreaking havoc on me. I want to get this bird while it's on its southern pass before it breaks the horizon with Canada, because there's a special event station up in Canada, and as soon as it breaks their horizon, I ain't gonna be able to get a word in. So just RF a little bit. My sat array is pointed right at the power lines right now, so there's a transformer, a couple poles down to my south. I'm pretty sure it's got a bad lightning arrestor on it. The street light keeps going out on it too, so there's some kind of issues going on with that pole. But getting my utility company to fix it's a whole nother story. I've been dealing with power line issues here for over 2 years. Should be breaking in here pretty quick. Whiskey 5, Echo Kilo Golf, Echo Mike 16. I'm going to zoom this out a little bit so y'all can see I'm not spinning the VFO. Got this running right now. SatPC32 up here. Whiskey 5, Echo Kilo Golf, Echo Mike 16. .30 degrees elevation, it's directly 70 degrees to my east. AO92 is not doing too hot right now.
Charlie 9, Victor
As you can see, as my arrays to my east, power line noise is gone. Whiskey 5, Echo Kilo Golf, Echo Mike 16. CJ7 EWK, Whiskey 5, Echo Kilo Golf. CJ7 EWK, Whiskey 5, Echo Kilo Golf, EM16. Yeah, CJ7 EWK QSL. Just by the way, doing a YouTube tutorial on Icom 9700 as long as you don't have a problem being on video. So we made contact with the special vent station, CJ7 EWK stroke 3. It's up in Canada. I'm going to go ahead and let him get his contacts and grid squares while they're working their special event. So as you can see, if you've been paying attention to the screen on here, it's changing frequency on its own. Why is it doing that? Well, as I said in the beginning of the video, we got SatPC32 software running. So, like I said in one of my earlier videos, let's see if I can adjust this screen for y'all a little bit. Let me turn that down so y'all can hear me better. Alright, so I don't have to yell at the camera for you. Sorry if this is coming across a little blotchy between the camera and the computer monitor. Okay, so earlier videos, I just used AFC for downlink frequency correction. I was pretty happy with that. Most of the time, my uplink didn't have to be changed much at all. But the downlink varied pretty significantly with Doppler shift. I'd gotten SatPC32 software to work, to communicate with the 9700 previously, but it was not properly working given the proper frequency, and I wasn't able to get into the birds. It's on a Icom 9700 user group on Facebook. The questions started becoming more and more popular on there of people wanting to get SatPC32 software working. Someone had emailed, gentleman, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, designed SatPC32. He gave some options, and people have been getting it to work. I spent about 4 hours with it today, and I was getting quite frustrated. Finally had to take a break from it, and came back in with a fresh mind and found out my blooper. It was completely 100% my fault, and I'm going to go over that with y'all so y'all don't make the same mistake I did. So, SatPC32 software. I am using a registered version. I bought it a couple years ago. Back when I was doing satellites with my 9100 before I sold it and upgraded to this. So, I can't tell you whether or not what changes, because I know you can do a demo mode of SatPC32, but I don't know if you're limited to your options, if it saves settings or not. But let's go ahead. So SatPC32 is up and running. You're going to go up here. Let's see if I can zoom in on this for y'all. You're going to go to setup. I've already got my rotor set up. I'm not going to go through that. Try to save some time here. But radio setup. So here are my settings that I have configured to work, and these are the suggested settings from other people that I've gotten it to work, and from DK1TB right there of this software. So what do we got here? Radio 1, Icom model IC-9700. I got my COM port set, went to device manager, found out which COM port my 9700 was on. Cat delay 70. This was suggested from DK1TB. You got a row of boxes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. Satellite mode is the only box you are going to check. You're going to leave the rest of these alone. Radio 2, none. So go up here to the box that says model, click on it. We're going to go down to baud rate, 19,200. 19,200. Remember that, because we're going to be setting that in the radio here in a second. Address, this is another important one. Your Icom, I believe, is going to be defaulted at 94H. I could not get 94H to work. Other people trying to get SatPC32 could not get 94H to work. Somebody found out A2 works. So you're going to go down here, and there's going to be a drop-down list. My default drop-down list did not have A2 in it. It only had like 4 or 5 other random addresses in it. So what you had to do is you go down here to these arrows and you just click up. From me was 94H, so I clicked up all the way to A2 on both sides. A2, A2. You'd hit store, and then it's going to give you a deal. SatPC32, restart SatPC32 when settings changed. Okay. Quit. And as you can see, whenever I hit quit, 9700 went back to simplex 2-meter mode, which was the mode I was in prior to starting SatPC32 software up. So you can see down here is my little icon that I have pinned. So let's watch what happens to the 9700 whenever I hit that. Starts up, starts up, starts up. Everything's up and going. Look at that. Automatically changes for you into satellite mode. Now remember, you got to be in VFO, because if you're in memory mode, it's not going to work right. So this is on FO29 now. Let me just go back. What's going to be the next pass that's going to come up of a FM bird? SO50. So I click SO50 on my satellite list down here, which I have it on D. I hit that. Go up to the top, make sure my tones are enabled for your encoding tone, get into the bird. And let me hit this tone on software and watch the radio. You can see it turns off. You gotta enable that tone when you're working the FM birds that require an encoding tone. Okay, so I've showed you settings on SatPC32, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn cat control off so this doesn't mess with anything while I'm going through the settings. So your 9700, what are you gonna want to do? You're gonna go down here to menu, first page, go to set. If you're all the way up at the top, you're going to scroll down, second page to connectors. Whenever you get to connectors, if you're at the top, you're going to scroll down to page 3, CIV. Okay, here's where I was talking about your baud rate. So you have to go in and set your baud rate to 19,200. It is highly suggestive to put this at 19,200 and not auto, because you can, if it's in auto mode, you can lose, it says you can lose data between your transceiver and your computer. So manually input 19,200. Go down. What's our CIV address? Remember that A2 I was discussing in SatPC32? This is where you're going to scroll through and you're going to scroll your list. See, I was originally on 94H. Now scroll up to A2. CIV transceive is on. USB LAN or remote, I just went ahead and put A2 in there. I don't really use remote on 9700. But whenever I was going through my 3 or 4 hours of trying to figure out what was going on, I was going through and messing with every setting in here possible. One of the things that is suggested is you're going to want to unlink from remote. Sometimes it's going to show you, sometimes you're going to be set to link to remote. You're going to want to unlink from remote. CIV USB baud rate. I think in device manager on my COM port I was set at like 9600 baud rate. I played around inputting 9600 and 19200. Didn't really make a difference. I just went ahead and put in 19200 in the Icom. CIV USB echo back needs to be on, has to be on. I think by default it's set to off. You're going to want to go in and set it to on. I went ahead and went into CIV data baud rate and set it to 19200 and CIV data echo back to on, even though we're not using data mode on here. Like I said, I was going through so many settings earlier trying to figure out why this wasn't working and changing stuff, and let's go over what I was doing. So as far as those settings on here, that's it. That's all the settings that you have to do for it to work properly. So we're going to exit. Now we're going to go back. So from my earlier videos, I've demonstrated using this nifty little AFC function, which I like using for my downlink. Because it changes the frequency for me to compensate for Doppler shift. If you have that AFC function enabled whenever you're starting up SatPC32 software, it will not communicate with your 9700. Your Icom's already trying to compensate for Doppler effect, but it's only doing it on your downlink, not your uplink, which is where SatPC32 comes in, because it's going to change both of them. You have to go in here, and if you've been playing with the AFC function, you have to turn it off. You know, click on your uplink if it was enabled, turn it off. Even though your uplink, you can enable it on your uplink, but it doesn't change on your uplink. I don't know why Icom has it set up that way, but I turned off the AFC function and SatPC32 software automatically started working. So I was pretty happy about that. Like I said, I'm dealing with some noise today. I'll show you how bad my noise is if you want to see it. Let me move that out of the way. When I first started the video, you could see that my the 2 meter, let me adjust this tripod real quick. 2 meter band, I was getting some pulsating power line noise. Well, let's see. I was down here before I decided to make this video. I was playing on 40 meters a little bit, and I was trying to get on 80 and 160, but I got too much noise. So it doesn't look too bad right now, does it? They're an S1, S2 noise level at times. Well, it's because I got my NCC-2 running and phasing out the noise. Watch what happens when I turn that off. Instantly change. On. Let me give you a. Let me let you hear that. I think there was an Africa station there a minute ago I was trying to listen to. Hear that real weak station down in the mud? Let me turn off my phase array. Can't hear them at all. Phase the noise back out. There we go. Still hard to hear, but I can make them out now, and I can try to work a DX station down in the dirt. If I didn't have this noise phaser in here, this is all I'd be hearing. And this is off my beam. So, yeah, let me double check. Yeah, that's off my beam. Rephase. Let me switch antennas here, see if I can demonstrate to y'all phasing that. So, wham, got them phased out again. And there it is with the noise. Phased, non-phased. So, I'm really excited with using this NCC-2. I bought the package that comes with phased receive verticals, which don't work bad, but I've played around with adding some different noise antennas. I got a receive loop that I use with my RSP2. I've also got one of my towers has a vertical on it outside that's stationary, so whenever I drop my main tower, like if bad weather's coming in, it's at 65 feet in the air with a Mosley Pro 57B40 on the top of it. I retract that thing down for bad weather because I don't want that Mosley getting whipped around and damaged with Oklahoma storms. Like I said, I've been gone lately, been down in Central America, and while we were gone, they've been getting ravaged with storms up here near my house. There was actually a tornado that touched down less than 15 miles away from my house, hit another small town north of me while we were gone. Luckily no one was injured, but there was a lot of property damage up there. So my power line noise has been back with all the bad storms. Got a power pole down there. It's got a street light on it that's been intermittently working, so I think the issue's coming from that pole. I think it's got a bad lightning arrestor on it, and on top of some other stuff with that light flickering on and off. But that's about it. Got long-winded on here, sorry. But as you can see now, my noise is gone because my array is pointed. My Sat Leo pack is pointed away from the power line, power lines, and the suspected pole that's causing trouble. So, but when I whip that around, when I got a southern satellite coming up, and I flip that around right now, it's really hard for me to hear satellites. So, like I said earlier, been dealing with this issue for 2 years with intermittent power line issues around my neighborhood. Utility company where I'm at is not receptive to fixing it, and it's become quite the issue. So just do with what I can. But I wanted to update y'all on 9700 SatPC32. I'm really happy I got it working. I know it said in one of my earlier videos I wasn't real concerned with it because I was happy with the AFC function on the downlink, but I do like that it does go ahead and does full rig control in conjunction with my rotor and my Leo pack set up on one of my other towers. So really all I gotta do is sit back, hit the mic when I'm in the shack, and work satellites. The other little projects I did do too as well is I put this little desk mic in. I picked this up like a year or so ago for real cheap, and it had an Icom plug on it. I just sat it in the closet for if I got a separate Icom rig one day I wanted to try it with. Seen this the other day, it was like, huh, well, I wonder how this would work. Plugged it in, and it works just fine on this 9700. Nobody's given me any crummy audio reports, and I've tested it with some simplex stuff around here, listening to my voice, and it's pretty comparable with the hand mic. So I like desk mics and boom mics, like my Heil for my 7610. I don't like holding a mic in my hand and clicking it. I can just sit here like this one, and it can sit on the desk. So, well, this video got a little longer than I expected, but I wanted to update y'all with some stuff. I got to go through. I know there's been some people asking me some questions. I haven't gotten caught up on that on my YouTube channel as well. But I'm going to jump back on. I want to work some low band DX tonight. I'm going to try to get on and do some 40 meter DX and get on 80 meters, see if I can get over into Europe tonight. And then go play around on 160 for a little bit. But I want to demo, give you all a little bit of demo. Sorry with the first part of the video with the noise. I can't control the power line noise here, so but once that bird got about 70 degrees or so to my east, the noise lifted up and you start able to hear other stations, but there's a special event station there too, so I wanted to let him get in there and get the grid squares or whatever they're trying to do with that special event station. So we got field day coming up. Here was third weekend of June. I'm going to be setting up a satellite station for a club out at field day, and I'll take my portable stuff out, Yaesu 817 and a arrow, and show how I work satellite stuff out in the field. And I'll try to get videos while I'm there doing that. And I'm just going to have to look at the satellite predictions and see what passes are going at the time that I'm going to be out there at field day. But other than that, ask your questions and I will try to answer them when I can. So I'd like to thank y'all, the Facebook 9700 user group, for people on there posting the stuff for the 9700 and SatPC32. Once I found out my error, whatever I was doing wrong, everything worked just fine. So until next time, this is Daniel, Whiskey 5 Echo Kilo Golf 73.